Guys, you're on with me, Tree Boy for Life. I just wanted a quick shout out, just give you a little, a little update of what I'm doing right now. I'm sitting literally over this unit. How in the world did this tree crush the gas and the unit? I do not know. But if you look right here, look at that. I know it's hard to adjust because of the sun, but my goodness. It's hanging off the back of the house. Literally, right here where I'm at. It didn't even bust the window. But my goodness, this is Sunday fun. This is an emergency job. We actually got the call last night, but we had basically come this morning. But we got, let me stand up here. This is what we're working with. So we got to cut everything off the back side of the house, off the roof. Got that limb. It's not too bad because it done tore the whole roof off this mud. But again, getting it off this unit is what is really going to be the test for us today. So we'll get that worked out. We'll start cutting and get some stuff set up, and we'll get this bad boy worked out. You know? Yep, I hadn't really climbed up a tree like this in quite some time. Except when I was used to be an old whippersnapper in the woods, of course. And this is like that video on my channel. People be talking about, you know, it's a dangerous tree removal, and they don't really understand when you're working on a sideways tree like this, especially when it's pinned against stuff. They don't really understand. They just see, you know, a video or whatever. I have to comment and tell these people that these trees like this don't come every day, but when they do, they normally perched on something like a house. So it's different when you're cutting off something on a house as opposed to you know, you got lines and stuff in here you have to watch out for. But again, it's just different when you're working off of something like this as opposed to that thing been pinned into 5 or 6 trees and everything's poised to snap back and crack pop. They getting complacent, getting mad because a chainsaw bar is getting pinched a little bit. I'm like, y'all people are so silly. But again, that's just me ranting and raving because they don't get to see stuff like this every day. And some guys, they wouldn't even tackle stuff like this, unfortunately. Some guys just ain't cut out for it. But we have to try to do it without causing any more injury to this house, and death for the gas and everything. So we got a big day ahead of us trying to get this thing squared away. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. And on top of that too, guys, we do this without any fancy equipment, no cranes, no bucket trucks, just straight up manpower and just straight up just tree IQ. That's the easiest way to put it. And once they cut everything off the lines here, boom. There's the tree, and it's on top of the house, so you can just see it. It actually already turned. I guess the weight of it has turned it already, so that's actually good for me because I'm thinking I just don't want it to hit the house, but it already done ripped off and turned, so I might be okay. I just don't want it to drop back down because that wouldn't be good for me since it's already pretty much out. So I have to get that part braced up so we won't have no more movement on this big old stump here. But this is our fun day for today. Okay, guys. Here's the final product. Now we got to finish cutting everything off of this side, but we had to be really careful over here over this unit. But we're gonna start working this piece down now. But we got everything off the top up here. Old saw action, little chainsaws. I'm trying to see if it's on. Oh yes, all the weights on this thing like crazy. I'll be John Brown. This thing is still got a lot of weight this way. Nothing. We had this protected when we had dropped another little piece. Okay, nothing's on this, so that's a good sign for now. We'll just keep moving the braces back as we need to. But as you can see, what we got here. Here was the situation. I walk up here. You can see. Hopefully it don't fall down while I'm up here. But that's what it did. Here's all your damage there. Just give me the end of that, Vic, and you swing it over here to me, and I'll get it tied up. Hopefully no wasps come out and get me a fly. But that's what we're looking like, guys. That's what we're looking like. Ooh, that was something else right there, boss.
Yeah, well, that was a little scary.
Yes, indeed. I just didn't know if it was gonna bust that window or not. Try to keep more weight. And guys, you have to use what's available to you. In this situation, we use the other end of this tree to rope this stuff over, and just roped it and let it just, you know, free swing and drop right there out of the way of anything, and it didn't damage anything. We kept everything off the unit. The window didn't bust, even though he just blocked it up like that just in case. But it's just amazing we were able to do this job without anything and got it done. Now I'm gonna have to cut this big piece down, which is gonna be really fun. I left all this over here to keep me some weight on this side, so I'm gonna have to come. I'm just gonna go ahead and cut this whole big piece right here and just let it hit, just fall right there in the middle. And I'll cut that whole section off before I do this. I need that done before I do anything else. Like, okay, with the exception of opening these down, I'm still gonna need that. But I'll probably go ahead and work that middle piece off now that we got out of the house. But I'm still not sure if it'll get once the roll. I possibly can get, if I keep half of this piece off, I can get this thing just to kind of roll back. But the way it's looking, I don't think it's gonna roll back. Kind of got this brace right here. Just as we got the roof all braced a little bit. I mean, ain't nothing perfect. That's what's keeping it from going all the way around. Now, if we cut that off, we could possibly get the roll over and possibly it would be okay. But again, it's one of them situations, guys. We just have to be careful. But we got everything off the roof. He's already topped the roof. We're already here working on it, so worked out really good. Just keep cutting on this side, because oh, that's fine. It's just dirt. You can get your crate, Vic, and stand on your crate. That way you'll be a little higher. Come here to get it for you. Hold on. That's just water and dirt. That's the rock right there. Well, I was cutting right, and this thing down. Oh yeah. I showed you how rotten that thing was. So really, and that's really why the roots went. See how that water just sitting in there like that? I don't even see no roots. Look at it, ain't no roots. Yeah, I mean that's why they rotted out like that. Because all that water and decay is inside. Perfect. Good job, boss. That's why I was so rotten. Those roots. Look at all that water just sitting in there, just dripping off. Look at the hole. I know, bro. That thing is crazy, ain't it? Look at that. It's insane. Would you look at that? Yeah, well, it's braced now. We'll just leave these two braces and we'll grab the other one and we out. Yeah. Okay, guys. Here's the finale. Everything's good over here. Nothing's out of place. Everything's outside of what was already here. We put up all this stuff to brace up everything. We already got the temporary roof is starting to get put on too. But I'm gonna walk you through. So it was perched on all this stuff here. This fence panel was the only one that came out, but it was already, we could use that to our advantage since it was already busted down. We just went ahead and just let it do what it was gonna do. But we cut everything off the house. And that's all again what we required to do. This post was already shot. So this is just a matter of lifting it back up or whatever they decide to do with it. Maybe about 2 or 3 posts and 2 or 3 fence panels. Or really just this whole side. Everything's good. Everything's for the most part cut up. Everything looks really good. Everything looks good. Okay. There we go. Step over here. What's up, guys? You're on me, Tree Boy for Life. I just wanted to shoot a quick video. I wanted to show you what we can't see inside of a tree that's heavily decayed. And this is what everybody wants to try to figure out. You know, how dead is my tree actually? You know, what's the deal with my tree? And unless you start drilling inside, you know, a lot of the guys got the kits and everything, but most guys, you know, such as myself and everybody, we don't really have all that extra kits that most of the arborists and the bigger arborist companies have. But you can just see all this. Look at this mess. Just almost spongy type situation there. Worms even growing inside there. Look at that worm. But this situation is just really bad. And you can see it just took this toll on this big old maple tree. And this is one of the things that you have to contend with. Again, if you climb, you would never even seen this if you had got to this point. Also, I wanted to show you how big this tree is and how much weight it had on it. You can see the lean. So even with that lean and how it was growing there. But I want to show you what actually led to most of this decay. And you can see here, just over the years, just rotted all the way out. And you can just see that's just a product of what happens. Well, let me show you something. You see where they trimmed this limb at? Do you see what's inside of there? Watch. You can't see? Look at that. That's what kills your tree when it don't donut hole, it don't cure all the way over when you do a pruning cut. And I think that initially looked like a decent cut, but still, just over the years, this tree's probably been here forever. It's one of the things that you have to contend with. And also, you come up here, this one healed over a little better right here, and you got one. So all through the years, but eventually, that was the catalyst right there that really took that one out. But that was still about 15, 20 foot up, so you had never seen it. There you have it. Hey guys, what's up? You on me, Tree Work for Life. I just wanted to shoot a little video just to show you to the extent that decay runs in a tree, and just how, now I'm not saying trust every bit of decay that you see, but the more you work in certain trees, you come to understand that certain decay is different, you know, and you can see it when it's applied in different situations like this. Now I'm showing you all this. Now I'm about 5'8", so from here, starting right there, and my head is right here, on upward. Now that part, I can just push that piece right off of there. This piece, push it right off of there. But it's a whole nother healthy piece of this limb just holding on here. And what tends to happen is that you begin to see as you climb more what you can, not necessarily want to say take a chance on, but you can kind of see where the level of safety that you have when you do have to climb. Now granted, this can snap off at any time, but you put your hand in there and you start seeing, you know, you can feel around in there. I mean, this thing is pretty much a strip of wood all the way back down through there that's holding this. Now this is kind of tight right here, like it's a wrap around, like I call the U when it's like that. But again, all this decay, you can see it. It's just slowly getting down, but it's more petrified than it is spongy, if you can see. So that's what you really have to watch out for. The corky and the sponge like that. That's more like the corky and the spongy form of decay that you really, you know, you can just sense that, hey, this is not gonna work. But the more, that's the spongy kind. But then when you get to this part, it's decayed, but it's more petrified. So now I'm not going to climb up this limb, but I will use this limb as just a stabilization for myself. So I say that to say this again. It's all about perception, all out judgment, experience. Some guys have seen way worse than this, have climbed way worse than this. But I'm just saying, this is just especially for the guys who's not used to dealing with this. It ain't no reason to pucker up. You just gotta use some common sense and just know what you can do with something like this if you're ever in this situation. Because technically, I'm gonna be able to climb up this because I got my main rope set up here. I'll shoot over and I'll just cut all that, no roping in this tree. I got plenty of area to drop everything, so that's what I'll end up doing here. And everything's the same way. And so, also I would like to say too, guys, that this was a product of topping years ago, or bad pruning, because you can see the heavily decayed part. Now this wouldn't have been able to be here for too much longer before this whole leader would have been jeopardized, possibly falling over the neighbor's yard. But it looks like it had a lot of trees and stuff, could have hit a fence since the driveway's there. Probably not unless somebody was in the yard or something, it wouldn't have hurt nobody. But the idea of it is that it would have been more prone to decay and would have been just a piece that would have just possibly broke off and fell right there. would have definitely ruined the fence. And this right here, the way it's growing, it would have possibly ruined the corner of the house or that, and vice versa. If this whole piece would have finally rotted, this piece was coming for the house if it wasn't so tall, but those little limbs probably wouldn't have done much, but still, any bigger and it would have just tore the unit up, probably tore the house up, bust the windows. So that's what you have to remember and remind folks, because they'll ask you, do you want to top my tree, or I want my tree top, and this is what the end effect is. This is what happened. So there you have it. But I'm gonna go ahead and get back to work, guys. I just wanted to show you this, and peace out. You want to meet your work for life. Peace.